ever feel like you're on this treadmill, you know, like running and running, but not really getting
I
anywhere?
know that feeling.
Yeah, like you're putting in the effort, but something's just missing.
Definitely.
I think we've all been there, right? Especially in education. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle.
Absolutely.
But today's deep dive, we're hitting the brakes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we're going to really understand the power of slowing down.
I'm intrigued.
We're diving into this article, The 3R's of Teaching: Relationships, Reflection, and Resilience. You sent this one over, and wow,
It's a good one.
it's packed with these insightful observations about what actually makes education work. Like, really tick.
It is fascinating, actually, how it connects those dots between nature and the classroom. Like, sometimes the most amazing insights come when we just, pause and actually observe what's right in front of us.
Okay, so set the scene for us. The article starts with this really vivid image. The author's watching a deer and a fox playing by a pond.
Yeah, and it'd be easy to just kind of skim over that, right? Think, oh, how sweet, and move on.
Right.
But it's so much more than that. It highlights how important it is to be truly present.
Not just physically there.
Exactly, not just popping in and out, being truly present. Because then you notice things, patterns, interactions, things you'd miss otherwise.
So how does this translate to, like, a classroom setting?
Because it's the same principle. When you're truly present in the classroom, you pick up on things you'd otherwise miss as well.
It's like the author saying we miss out on a student's learning style, or even the challenges they're facing, if we're just trying to speed through everything.
Yeah, you got it. We need to slow down if we really want to see our students. Think about it: when we rush, we make assumptions.
Oh, that's so true.
But observation, that deep attentiveness to what someone needs, that's where you get true understanding.
And speaking of understanding, there's this incredible story in the article about a former student, Marquand, who gets in touch with the author after, get this, 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. And it's not just like, oh, hey, remember me kind of thing. It goes way deeper.
I think any teacher would be thrilled to hear from a student after that long.
You know, Marquand had a rough time in school, right?
Yeah, some behavioral issues.
But this teacher went above and beyond, created this safe space for him when, frankly, other kids weren't so kind.
That's huge. That's more than just teaching. That's real compassion right there.
And it made a difference.
It really goes to show the kind of impact educators can have when they focus on building those genuine human connections. It lasts. That sense of belonging, it can stick with a student for life.
Which reminds me of something else in the article that really resonated with me, the idea of personalized learning. This author is such a strong advocate for finding the right teacher for each student.
Not just academically, right? But on a personal level, too.
Exactly.
And that is so important because, let's face it, one size fits all, it almost never works, right? We need educators who are adaptable, who can adjust their teaching styles, the methods, really meet those individual needs.
So instead of this standardized approach,
Which, let's face it, can be tempting, just trying to get through it all.
it's realizing each student is different, has their own strengths, challenges, ways they learn best.
Yes, and empowering teachers to actually address those differences.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, the article talks about something called looping.
Looping.
Have you heard of that?
I haven't. Tell me more.
So looping is where you keep a teacher with the same group of students for more than 1 year.
Oh, interesting. Instead of getting a new teacher every year?
They move up together, teacher and student. Imagine the kind of stability and familiarity that creates.
It feels like, especially in those early years, when those bonds are so important.
Absolutely, and think about it from the teacher side for a second. You get that extended time to really, really observe how a student grows and develops.
Makes a lot of sense. Instead of just these snapshots,
Right.
you're seeing the whole picture.
You get that full panoramic view, and that can be so powerful for both the student and the teacher, honestly.
Yeah, the article even talks about that, how looping can actually be really good for teachers too.
Right. It's not just a one-way street.
They get to really hone their craft,
Right.
refine their approach
Yeah.
based on those long-term observations.
It acknowledges that education is a two-way street. Everybody's learning, growing together. And when you have that shared experience, I think it just adds this whole other level.
It all comes back to that slowing down thing, doesn't it?
It does.
We're so used to rushing, right?
Yeah.
Cover the material, hit the milestones, on to the next thing.
The hamster wheel.
Exactly. But we forget how important it is to just, be there.
Be present.
See the humans in front of us,
And listen. Because it's about shifting that focus From just kind of, getting the information across to nurturing a connection. Because isn't that what makes learning stick with you? Those real, genuine connections?
It's like we're redefining what education can be,
Yeah.
It's less about memorizing facts and more about having those aha moments.
Yes, exactly. It takes a willingness to slow down, be present, listen.
With our whole selves, right?
Yes. Not just our ears, but with our hearts, our minds. Every student walks into that classroom with their own story,
Their own experiences.
their own way of seeing the world.
So we have to move away from that one-size-fits-all.
Exactly.
And create a space where everyone feels heard.
Where they feel seen. And when that happens, that's when the magic really happens. That's when they're empowered to learn and to grow.
It makes you think about the impact one teacher can have,
I know, right?
One person who really takes the time to see their students, to create that kind of supportive environment.
It's amazing.
It's really powerful. And I know the article focuses on education, but this applies to, everyone.
Totally. What if we all, no matter what we do, approached each other with that same kind of intention?
That same care.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
What if we all just slowed down for a second? Paused? Really listen to each other.
Instead of just waiting to talk.
Instead of just thinking about what we're going to say next.
Try to see the world through someone else's eyes for a minute.
Imagine the kind of connections we could build.
The understanding.
It's a really beautiful thought. But it's hard, isn't it?
It is.
In a world that's constantly telling us to be faster, do more, be on, be connected, it's like we need to relearn, how to appreciate those quiet moments, the pauses.
And that's exactly what this article pushes us to do. To approach things with a new sense of curiosity.
To be open to being surprised.
Yes. Let go of those preconceived notions, really see what's right there in front of us.
Because it's in those quiet moments often that we really discover something profound.
Like that deer and fox just, hanging out by the pond.
Or that teacher who saw something special in Marquand.
Exactly. That's what makes this article so powerful. It goes beyond just education. It's a whole approach to life.
Being more mindful.
Yeah.
More intentional.
Yes.
And realizing that slowing down isn't about, losing the race or anything.
Not about that at all.
It's about connecting. Seeing things more clearly.
Living more fully. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we've got to ask, right? What about you out there listening? What really stood out to you about all this idea of slowing down, building those connections, really observing? Have you seen how powerful this can be in your own life? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Absolutely. Jump into the conversation with us on social media.
Because every perspective, every story adds something valuable.